Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're really diving into a problem that's quietly reshaping our world, the global skills gap.
Hmm.
And we're talking about a future where maybe 85 million jobs could just sit empty worldwide by 2030. And the potential cost is potentially a staggering $8.5 trillion to the global economy annually. It's a huge challenge, and it's happening right now. So our focus for this deep dive is a specific platform. It's called From Learning to Earning, and it's from EON Reality. We've pulled together, a mix of research findings, platforming announcements to really unpack how extended reality XR is being used here, how it's stepping in to bridge this gap, and maybe more importantly, how it's creating these direct pathways to high-paying careers.
Yeah, what's really interesting, I think, is this isn't just about, filling job vacancies. It's really a fundamental rethink of how we learn, how we develop actual practical skills, and then, crucially, how we apply them in the real world. The urgency here is, well, it's significant. Our traditional systems just aren't keeping up.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit more. Why is this transformation so urgent right now? What's really driving this crisis?
Well, the numbers are pretty stark when you look at them. Take healthcare. We're looking at a projected shortage of maybe 10 million nurses by 2030. Cybersecurity, they need around 3.5 million professionals globally. And then you got these explosive growth areas. AI, machine learning roles are growing over 40% every year. That just completely outpaces what traditional education systems can realistically deliver. And, the tough part is traditional education has really struggled here. It's struggled to adapt. We see millions of graduates who, frankly, lack job-ready skills. There's this ongoing mismatch, between the diploma and what employers actually need day to day. The whole system is just slow to adapt to how fast industries are changing. And often, especially in, say, the Global South, access to quality training is limited. So this gap, it's not just widening, it's actually threatening economic stability and, people's livelihoods.
Yeah, that really paints a clear picture, doesn't it? It's not just some abstract economic issue. This is a very real challenge for, anyone trying to navigate the job market today or maybe trying to upskill for the future. It hits our collective future, but also our individual chances of building a stable career. So, okay, if that's the crisis laid out, let's shift gears. Let's talk about the solution presented in the sources. EON Reality's Skills to Income Revolution. What makes this approach so different? How does it, flip the script?
Right. So at its heart, it seems to be built on three key ideas. First, what they call a skills-first methodology. Basically, they look at where the big labor shortages are, the critical ones, and build training directly for those specific needs. So it's targeted, not just general knowledge. Second is the XR-enhanced learning. They use immersive simulations, replacing a lot of the traditional classroom stuff. And this isn't just theory. They've apparently rolled out over 20,000 of these immersive lessons already through various global partnerships. And the third part, which is quite bold, is the income guarantee focus. They're aiming for and tracking a measurable salary increase, 25% to 45% within the first year after someone gets certified to their platform. That's a pretty powerful economic driver, right?
Hold on, a 25 to 45% salary uplift? That's a huge claim. I mean, that would be a game changer. How is that actually measured? Is it based on, independent tracking, or what's the methodology behind validating that kind of impact?
Yeah, it's based on the data they collect from tracking the learners after they get certified, looking at their career paths, their salaries. And if you compare these XR courses to, the old ways, the differences are pretty dramatic. Take engagement, traditional learning, often passive, right?
Yeah.
Watching lectures. Here it's active simulations, you're doing things. Then knowledge retention. Traditional methods, maybe you retain 20, 30% after a few months. With XR, they're seeing numbers closer to 70, 80%.
70 to 80%, wow.
Exactly. And practical application, you go from just theory to actually practicing in these high-fidelity, realistic scenarios. So naturally, the time to competence shrinks. You learn faster through doing it over and over immersively instead of that slow, linear path. The way you're assessed changes too. It's not about memorizing facts for a test. It's about performing tasks correctly in the simulation. And that all leads back to the career outcomes. That 25-45% salary uplift we talked about, plus they report 20-35% higher job placement rates compared to more traditional routes. The overall impact metrics they cite are pretty impressive too, like a 60% cut in time to competence, people getting into the workforce 30-50% faster, institutions saving maybe 40% on costs, and companies onboarding new hires twice as fast.
So the real breakthrough here isn't just learning faster, it's learning well differently, in a way that actually builds competence, not just knowledge. Is that the shortcut idea?
Precisely. That's the core idea. It's about building that muscle memory, that practical know-how, in a safe space where you can repeat it. Imagine performing a complex medical procedure, or troubleshooting a factory robot, or defending against a simulated cyber attack, doing it hundreds of times virtually before you face the real thing. That's the fundamental shift.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And with that kind of learning power, you'd need a pretty solid system to deliver it all. The sources call it a complete career transformation engine. How does that ecosystem actually work? How do all these pieces fit together?
Right, it seems quite comprehensive. It's structured around several key parts working together. First up is the career compass integration. Think of it as a personalized assessment. It maps your current skills, spots the gaps, then uses AI recommendations to suggest specific career paths that are in demand. It even pulls in real-time labor market data.
So it tells you where the jobs actually are.
It's exactly where the demand is right now. Then there's the Premium Career Course Catalog. This is curated with tracks for high-demand jobs across 7 main areas. So for example, in healthcare, you're doing virtual clinical simulations using XR. In advanced manufacturing, maybe you're working with digital twins, perfect virtual copies of factories, robots, practicing without risking expensive real gear.
Ah, okay, digital twins, right.
Yeah. And for things like IT and cybersecurity, they have simulated labs for cyber attack defense, ethical hacking, leading to industry certs like CompTIA Security Plus or CISSP. Other big areas are green energy, AI, and machine learning. Even essential soft skills, like leadership practice in XR with AI giving feedback, plus entrepreneurship tracks and other job-ready certifications. And the engine driving it all is that immersive XR learning methodology. Training happens in virtual labs, real-world simulations. It's that practice before you perform idea, but scalable and safe. They also have a multi-tier certification framework. This includes their own EON certificates, credentials from partner schools like ID Singapore or UBT, and those industry standard certs. And finally, there's skills to income continuity. That means ongoing support for development and tracking income growth over time, not just getting that first job.
It's quite a setup. You can really start to see how these detailed, immersive paths could, connect directly to someone's career goals, or maybe fill that one specific skill gap they know they have. It sounds incredibly well integrated. So thinking beyond the individual learner, what's the bigger impact here for schools, governments, maybe big companies?
Oh, it definitely seems designed to have a wider impact. For learners, obviously, it's about those direct career paths, learning faster, that economic boost from higher salaries, and just getting access to this kind of training globally. For educational institutions, it helps make their graduates more employable, which makes the institution itself more competitive. It connects them globally through partnerships and offers a way to innovate their programs scalably using these modules. For governments, well, it directly tackles workforce readiness. It can boost economic growth by creating a more skilled population, and it offers a scalable, potentially more cost-effective way to reskill people.
Right. Workforce development is huge for governments.
Absolutely. And for enterprises, for companies, it helps them build talent pipelines for the future skills they know they'll need. It can cut their training costs maybe up to 40%. It speeds up onboarding, like we mentioned, maybe twice as fast, and potentially leads to better retention because employees feel more competent and engaged from the start. And we're seeing some real-world validation of this already. You mentioned the Institute of Technical Education, ITE, Singapore, and ITs. They've delivered over 1,200 certified lessons, plugging right into Singapore's national technical training curriculum. Or the University of Business and Technology, UBT. They've built themselves up as the first spatial AI university, using over 20,000 immersive lessons. That attracted $30 million in investment.
30 million, wow.
Yeah, and the results? They're reporting things like healthcare students getting clinically ready 30% faster, graduates from their green energy programs earning salaries 25% above the regional average, and folks who learn digital freelancing skills seeing their income grow 40% within just 6 months.
It really does shift the view, doesn't it? From just helping one person get a job to potentially transforming whole economies and societies. So what's under the hood, technologically speaking? What makes all this possible? What kind of tech powers this whole thing?
Well, a key part is accessibility and scale. It's designed for cross-device compatibility, meaning it runs on the major XR headsets MetaQuest, HTC Vive Pro, HoloLens, Magic Leap 2. That broad reach is important.
So you don't need one specific expensive device necessarily.
Right, and it's cloud-based. That's crucial for deploying it globally, reaching learners anywhere with decent internet. Then there are the AI-powered features. We touched on the real-time labor market analytics getting specific about job demand, not just general trends. Plus personalized learning paths that adapt to how you're doing, constant progress tracking, and even predictive career forecasting. The AI tries to anticipate future skill demands, guiding you towards what's likely to be needed tomorrow, not just today.
Predictive forecasting, interesting.
Yeah. And looking forward, they have these global deployment phases, planned pilots, regional rollouts with multiple languages. The big goal seems to be certifying over 1 million learners a year across more than 100 countries eventually.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what does this really mean for us, for you, listening, navigating your career, thinking about the future economy?
Well, if you step back and look at the big picture, think about a future where this kind of continuous immersive skill building becomes maybe the main way people advance their careers. What if traditional degrees, university credentials, become less important than these applied certified skills you gain through, say, virtual labs or complex simulations?
Mm.
It does raise some big questions, doesn't it? What would that mean for how talent is distributed globally, for access to high-paying jobs, especially in developing regions, and maybe even how we define professional success itself? Is it the diploma on the wall or the certified competencies you can demonstrably apply?
That is a really provocative thought to end on. Something for you to definitely mull over your own role in this shifting landscape of learning, earning, and proving what you can do.